So what are some things that you're noticing between these two?
That the higher one goes faster and the higher one goes faster because it has more energy as it's going downwards, and this one's just basically going straight.
So what do you mean by it has more energy?
It has more energy because it's kind of like a mountain, how it's harder to hike up a downwards mountain, but if you're going down a mountain, it's easier because it's crooked, and the marble rolls easier, but this one's basically just going in a straight line.
Okay. So you're saying this is like a steep mountain and that's kind of like maybe a flat road?
Yeah.
And you know that when you walk up a mountain, it takes a lot of energy to do that. So what other evidence do you have that this marble has more energy than that one?
Because this one's going faster than the other one has. This one has like a bigger. So put yours on.
Oh, so tell me more about. You said this one has a bigger angle. What do you mean by that?
So it has more of an angle from the ground up. And this one has nothing. That one's just flat.
Okay. So did you guys mark off that? So keep those ideas. We're going to talk more about that in just a minute. So keep those ideas about the angle. And I want you to think about how does this angle affect energy? Or does it affect energy? Does it affect speed? So I want you to think about how can something have more energy than something else? Because the marbles are exactly the same, right? So how can that marble that's exactly the same as that one have more energy? How does this make that marble that you said has more energy have more energy? So I want you to think about that, to have a little discussion about that. So, can someone tell me what we found out about these two ramps? Savannah, what's one thing that your group discovered?
We found out that the higher ramp goes faster than the shorter ramp.
So when you say higher ramp, what do you mean by higher?
Like higher angle ramp.
Okay, so something about the angles of the ramp. So the higher the ramp or the higher the angle, the faster the marble goes. What is something else that another group found out? Rylan?
On the ruler on the ramp that was laying on the composition book, as the marble rolled down, it picked up speed once it got towards the bottom.
Okay. So I kind of had a picture that I took yesterday of how I set up my ramps when I did it to make sure that I was consistent with my variables. So you guys had something that looked a little bit like that, your notebook and your ramp, right? Okay. So we found, let's think about energy. So can someone tell me what you learned about motion and energy from our activity today and yesterday? What are some of those things that we've talked about with motion and energy? Haley.
That when it's higher, it gives off more energy, but when it's lower, it just...
When what's higher and lower?
The ramp.
So when the ramps are higher, you said it has more energy, and when they're lower, it has less energy.
Yeah.
Christopher.
I think the higher it gets, like she said, the higher it gets, the more gravity's pulling on it, and it has a slope, so it's rolling really fast, and it gains more energy.
Okay. Guys, please hold on to the marbles. If you need to, put them back in the bag so you're not tempted to play with them. So, in your notebook, I want to make sure we wrote this. You said the word steeper.
Yeah.
Can someone tell me what the word steeper means? This was the conversation that we had over here. She said the word steeper, and I want to make sure that we all understand what that means, because that's something that we might have heard before. Wow, that whole table. Miss Shay.
It's like more downhill, and it goes further down.
Okay, is it a further down at a different, what do we call that?
It's like a straight angle.
Angle. That's the word I'm looking for. When something is steep, it has a greater angle so that we affect the speed. You guys have probably experienced that when you go out on your bike. Maybe you're on a big hill. You're at the top of the hill and you zoom down to the bottom.
Yeah, I love that hill.
Yeah. All right. Okay, so what did you guys find out with the marble? What do you know right now that marble can do to that packing peanut?
It can transfer its energy, and then the packing peanut will roll. And
So when you say transfer energy, what does that mean?
Like it's getting its energy from when it rolled down the ramp, and it's transferring it into the peanut and making the packing peanut roll forward.
so basically, it's like when it hits it, yeah, and
like when you throw a ball.
Okay. It's like when you throw a ball.
Yeah. You give your energy to the ball, so it'll fly.
Okay.
Yeah, it's giving
So-
its energy to the
Does that packing peanut have any energy while it's sitting there at the end of the ramp?
It has potential.
What do you mean by potential energy?
Like someone could pick it up, it could be hit by something, you know.
So it has the possibility or the energy to move, but it's not. Is that what I'm hearing you say? Okay. So when the marble hits it, you're saying it's transferring the energy from the marble to the peanut. Okay. So, good job.